Jeffrey Chadia joins us. Hello, Jeff.
How you guys doing?
Fantastic. Now, Jeff, it's really interesting. There's a disparity in evaluation about the Eagles as we go into this playoff series here. And some people nationally have them ranked as low as 5th in priority, but you got them pretty high. You got them as your second-ranked team going into the playoffs here, right behind the Buffalo Bills. So talk about what impresses you right now about the Eagles and why you think that they're a Super Bowl team.
Well, you're talking about a team that was in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. A lot of those guys are still around. They've won 12 of their last 13 games, and the one game they lost, quarterback got hurt in the first quarter, and they still got 5 turnovers and almost won the game. And they have the best roster in football, as far as I'm concerned. And you look at their offense, their defense, every level, every position. You've got Pro Bowl players. I know Jalen Hurts coming back from this concussion. It's a big factor in all of this, and hopefully he's going to be healthy. But the only reason I like them over the Lions is because the Lions are so banged up defensively, and they have to win a certain kind of way. I think the Eagles can win multiple ways, and that makes it pretty impressive to me.
Wow. Now, that's a pretty high tribute. But let's talk about the quarterback, because this has been shrouded in mystery for many days here. And yesterday he gets on the field, and, players are going to say, oh, he looked great. I don't know. We won't know, and he'll be pronounced ready to go, I guess, today. So how much of a factor is he in this game? They're a 4.5-point favorite, so the odds makers don't think that he's going to suffer at all. So what do you think about it?
Well, it's always a big factor when the quarterback might not be 100%. And, the thing about that injury, and I'm not trying to parse concussions here or minimize head injuries, but it just seems like, Tua Tagovailoa was out, 5 games, and took a pretty good shot when he went down, and Jalen Hurts has been out for almost a month. And it didn't seem like that as big of a hit. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's going on in his head. But to me, it felt like that's probably enough time to get him back to a place where he could be competent. Now, that said, I don't think they're going to be out there running him 15 times and doing the tush-push whenever they can. I do believe Saquon Barkley is going to have a heavier load in this game. But again, the Packers, I like them a lot, but they're missing Jair Alexander, which is a big loss to their secondary. They lost Christian Watson, which is a big loss to their passing game. I think those matchups, when you look at the Eagles secondary, when you look at what A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith could do against the Packers, I think that helps mitigate what Jalen Hurts is going through with his head.
Let's look at the strategy now behind this. I don't know. Do you start Hurts off slow? Do you get the running game established? And you just mentioned Jair Alexander, where they may be susceptible. Or you come right out and you say, I know you guys are going to try to stop the run, so we're going to throw. We're going to put get A.J. Brown involved real early.
Yeah, well, they're big on slow starts around there, right? So,
occasionally.
I think starting slow is going to be what's going to happen regardless of the strategy. But, no, I think you start off and you try to establish the run game, and you try to see what, how the Packers are going to play you, what you can accomplish. And then you go. I don't think you come out right away guns blazing trying to hit home run shots. Because I think Jalen Hurts might be rusty, and it might put you into some long yardage situations early, and you don't want that. So I think they're probably going to be a little bit more cautious, try to feel their way into it, and then see what they can accomplish later on. Because obviously they're a house in the second, third, and fourth quarter anyway.
We're talking to Jeffrey Chadia, who likes the Eagles, by the way, in his column for NFL.com. To get to the Super Bowl, has them ranked as the second highest ranked team going into this playoffs. A lot of people look at Barkley. Obviously, he's had an all-world season. But the biggest improvement they've made from where their numbers were last year defensively to where they are this year with the number one numbers under one defensive coordinator who apparently made that much of a difference. What do you make of this incredible defensive improvement that they've had this year?
Well, I'm a big Fangio fan, and I live in Kansas City, and so I've seen how he's defended Patrick Mahomes over the years when he was the Broncos head coach, and I know that he's big on building into the secondary and having, really creative blitz packages and simulated pressure. So I like that approach. I like playing through your secondary, and once they, I think, rebuilt that, which was, a big part of their issues last year. Bradbury and Slater getting older, bringing in Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean and getting C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, I think that's a huge plus for what Vic Fangio wants to do. And then you're just seeing younger guys grow up. I wasn't around that team a lot last year, and so I don't know everything that went into their meltdown and all the behind-the-scenes stuff, but I do know they had a lot of young guys who weren't playing at a high level. And now you're seeing the Jalen Carters, Jordan Davises, the Zach Bonds, the guys like that really starting to, the Kobe Dean starting to elevate their game. I think that's a big part of it as well. Fangio and those young kids growing up.
All right, so Jeff, let me look at it. Like, a lot of people think they'll crush the Packers. I think maybe it'll be close, but we had John Kuhn on, former Packer. He says this is a 2-score game, and he's a Packers sideline guy. If they bet, could they then possibly they're going to face the Rams or Tampa Bay in the second round at home here in Philly? Could either of those teams upset the Eagles here?
I don't see it happening again for the same reason. I think the Rams, I saw them against Buffalo earlier this year where they scored 44 points, and I thought, okay, offense is healthy. They're about to take off. This team is going to be tough to deal with, and they've been kicking field goals ever since. And so I don't think they've got the offensive firepower to really keep up with what the Eagles can do. And the Bucs, I just don't know who's going to show up. And when they're on, look, they're the fourth highest scoring offense in the league. Baker Mayfield's thrown 40 touchdown passes. They got a good offensive line. Defensively, they got a lot of holes. And so, again, I think I don't see where they're going to keep up with what the Eagles can do. The Lions are a different story in Detroit, and that's down the road, but I think neither one of those teams are going to be able to beat Philadelphia at home.
Wow. Okay, so if you go to the Lions, which they will have to go, you see the Eagles winning that game in Detroit, even though they're pretty good at home, and they have a comfort zone on what the Goff does with them on that turf. So you like the Eagles to win that game and get to the Super Bowl?
I like how they match up. Yeah, I think that, you saw the way Detroit played Minnesota, and they're going to fight you. Look, no matter how tough things are over there, they're going to be out to try to win and not going to feel sorry for themselves. I just don't know if you can play the way they played against Minnesota for 3 straight games and win. I mean, I think they're going to have to win a shootout, and I like the way, again, on defense, the way the Eagles match up with them offensively. I think Wynyan Mitchell can match up with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think, their defensive line can match up with their offensive line. I think Jared Goff, as good as he's been, I think he can have days where he's not that good. See the Houston Texans 5-interception game. I think the Eagles are more. And they've been there. Again, they've been in these games, too. This isn't their first go-around. And so I think that I like their chances in Detroit, even though I'm a Michigan guy.
All right, yeah. All right, so give me your prediction of this game, the score. What do you got?
I'll take Eagles. I wouldn't say 2 scores. I'll take Eagles 31-23.
31-23. That's pretty healthy. All right, then my last question is a trap for you. With Jalen Hurts' condition, you never know how it's going to react. Suppose he gets rocked early, he gets a little dazed, he has to come off, he has to go into the blue 10. Can the Eagles then win the rest of that game with a backup, whether it's Kenny Pickett or whether it's Tanner McKee?
Oh, that I'm not so sure of because I like the Packers' defense, and they're really good at turning you over, and Xavier McKinney is really good. It all depends on Saquon Barkley and how well they run the football. If they're able to get him going, and even when Hurts was hurt, you saw he got like 60 carries the last 2 games he played. I think that they can win it, but I don't think it's going to. I think it'll be a nail biter.
Okay, that's realistic because the people in Philadelphia, they saw Tanner McKee play against the third team against the Giants, and all of a sudden he's Joe Montana.
Yeah, I'm not going that far with that one. Yeah.
All right, Jeffrey Chandia, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, there he is, Jeffrey Chandia, columnist, longtime NFL writer with NFL.com now. So there you go. He's got the Eagles as the second-ranked team in stature in the playoffs, Ray.
That was the politest no he could have given you on them beating the Packers with a backup.
Yeah.
Well,
no.
I wouldn't feel so good about it.
If Saquon Barkley's got 200 yards, maybe.
All right, yeah. If Saquon runs for 70 yards the way he did that first Commanders run with Kenny Pickett.
All right, 610-632-0975. Get the news at noon coming up. We're still in general knowledge where you can win 5 sets. We're giving 5 people get something correct today. A pair of tickets to the Philly Auto Show, which is a very desirable prize today. And all you got to do is beat Ray. Very easy. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Hey everybody, it's Bill Colarulo. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you can engage during the show, and you're not going to want to miss all the content that we post. It's not only the live videos, it's videos after the fact. It's our shorts. It's all the content you want as a Philadelphia sports fan. Looking forward to connecting.